he's the one breaking up with me. He must have had a great time in Kansas because it just doesn't make any sense.
You know, at first, when Sophie said this, there's a few things that went through my mind. But after thinking about it a bit more, I say to myself, okay, cool. Does she generally believe that he would only leave her? Only if she found somebody else? And why would she believe that? Is it because she knows about what his life was like when he lived in Kansas originally, about how he was a player? But then at the same time, though, I really sat there and I said to myself, well, is it because she believes that she's the only woman in the world that's willing to put up with his BS? And therefore, she believes that because she's willing to put up with it, that's something that's going to make him want to stay with her. I mean, listen, let's just try our best to make this make sense. Sometimes in life, people can be in a relationship that is very toxic, very unhealthy, but they could believe that because they are willing to put up with this and nobody else would want to put up with this person will stay with them because they're willing to put up with it. I hope that makes sense. So I do wonder if that's why she's a bit shocked. I mean, listen, or she might have thought that maybe Rob would only have the strength to actually leave her only if he found somebody else out there. But again, she says that doesn't make sense. So therefore, that tells me that she doesn't generally believe that there's someone out there better than her for him. Because in the previous week, she did pretty much say that listen, I know I'm not really there for Rob, but at the same time, I'm the only one that understands him. So therefore, I'm the best person for him. So I do wonder if that's where that comment itself or that thought process even generates from. But let's continue.
To throw in my face at like how it would feel to lose him and like fake dump me. I don't know, like, is this a real breakup?
I don't understand why I'm willing to try still and you're not for what?
But you aren't willing to try.
I am willing to try, Rob. I should give you a chance.
See, this is the thing that's always been the most confusing when it comes to Sophie. She's always out here talking about how she's willing to try. But when it comes to trying, it's all about her giving him another chance. But what does that mean? Because look at it this way. Each time we've seen these two have their conflicts, their conversation has always ended up with Sophie saying, oh, I'm here trying to give you a chance. Oh, Rob, you're not understanding me. Oh, you're not getting my point. And in the end, what does she do? She ends up leaving and living with her friend instead. And even whether she's having this conversation with Rob by herself or she's having it with her mum there or her friend being there, the end result is always the same. And the end result is always her saying to him, well, I'm trying to give you a chance. Well, here's the question then, Sophie. How many chances do you have to keep giving Rob until he can finally reach this place that you want him to be? Because let's be real, these chances are long overdue now. You know, she can't keep using that. But the fact is this, though. He decides to leave you and your defense is still, I'm trying to give you a chance. But here's the thing, though. Let's spice up a little bit. How can you give him a chance if each time you say that you are not living at home with him? To give him a chance, you have to realize you have to actually live with him. You have to spend time with him on a daily basis. You know, create that routine of what your life is supposed to be like as a married couple. Not to create this routine as if you're not a married couple and as if you're just two people who can choose to do what they like at any given time. Because that is not a marriage. I mean, to be fair, that's not even a relationship. I mean, if it is a relationship, it's definitely a teenage type relationship. You know them ones when you're still living at home with your parents and that. And if you have a little argument, you can avoid each other for however long until you see each other again back in school. But hey, whatever. Let's continue.
I get it, you're sad that I'm away from you. I understand. I'm away from you for a reason. I don't just leave you because we're having a great time and I leave. Like, see me again then. Goodbye. You care about that much? Cool. I literally said, this is my last chance to give you. We can have a few days. If you don't even want to try a last time, then bye then. Bye.
It's funny though that she says that, you know, I leave for reasons. Okay, cool. Let's talk about that. What are the reasons? It is very important that we all know what are the reasons because she keeps saying these things, but none of us know those reasons. So therefore, we cannot be sympathetic with Sophie. And it seems to me that Rob doesn't even know what the reasons are because he always looks completely blank whenever she says, well, I do these things for reasons. What are the reasons? Be vocal about them. Let us know. Let him know. We're not supposed to guess. He's not supposed to guess. I know obviously us, the audience, are irrelevant, but it is a show, so we need to know too. But let's continue.
Talk about it. I don't understand why you just dumped me over what? I didn't do anything. What?
That's a very good point. You didn't do anything. That is literally the point. You didn't do anything. Like, yeah, let that sink in.
I woke up this morning and I just felt like another morning of being alone.
I'm not happy around you.
If you're not happy around me, then you probably shouldn't be with me.
No, I'm overwhelmed with everything.
That is so strange. You know, I'm not happy to be around you, but and then he literally says, then you shouldn't be with me. She's like, nah, I'm just overwhelmed everything. Why is Sophie struggling so much to let go? And you know what's so crazy? Right now, I'm currently actually also covering the Gypsy Rose story, okay? Life After Lockup. And the thing that I found interesting, the most recent episode of Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup, in case you haven't seen it, right? Or I hope you have, but the thing that I recognize is that Gypsy had this thing where she leaves Ryan for Ken, but she still needs to text Ryan to keep him around, telling him that she misses him and she still loves him, even though she's with Ken. She gets pregnant, but then texts Ryan saying she's not too sure if the baby's his, and all of a sudden, no, the baby's definitely Ken's. Why are you doing that? Now, here's the thing. With Gypsy, it's clear to me that she's just a pure, evil, manipulative woman. Point blank, period. With Sophie now, what is the situation here? Is she a pure, manipulative, evil woman? Or is she just someone that is just, let's say, somewhat unstable? If you have any idea of why she's doing this little thing here, where she's like, well, you can't leave me, but I know I'm not happy to be with you, but you can't leave me. You know, like if I can't leave, then no one else can have you. Why do that? This part I can't decipher. Maybe I need to be a woman to understand this bit. I'm not too sure. But let me know your thoughts on this little bit here itself in particular. Let's work as a team and let's get it cracking in the comments. But with that being said, let's continue.
So bad.
About this moment.
Sorry, I need water. I need water.
All of my 20s has been Rob. So I've put in the best years of my life to Rob, and I've put in so much time, effort, money to Rob. For it to just fail is like such a waste of a lot of my life.
Honestly, that's one of the most narcissistic things to ever say. I put so much time and money into this relationship before it failed. I'm not happy about it. I mean, listen, that's just the way life goes sometimes. To be honest with you, what she should be saying is that, listen, I spent a portion of my 20s, you know, trying to make this relationship work with Rob. We've been unable to make it work, but I have learned this and that from this experience of being with Rob, and these are the things I now need to look at and try and do better for my next relationship, or if there's a chance of their relationship, these are the things I need to look at and see if I can do them better to help our relationship continue. Those are one of the two ways you can look at it. But instead, she's looking at, oh, I've done this, I've sacrificed this, I, and it's crazy because you see, even when she speaks about her own mum, she also speaks about herself. Her relationship with mum is I. There's always I with Sophie. But this is the problem that we have with Sophie and Rob. They are both very I people. But at the same time, though, is Rob only an I person because he feels that he's not being heard because Sophie is too busy talking about herself every step of the way? That could be it. Because I would say from a man's point of view, sometimes when a man gets to a point where he's trying to say I, sometimes it's because the woman he's with isn't allowed to have a voice. She's always shutting him down. And therefore, he's like trying to fight through the barriers, but nothing's really coming. It's either that or both of them have serious narcissistic traits that really and truly identify that they should not be together. But let's continue.
A marriage isn't one person is always wrong and the other person's always right. Like, what don't you get about that?
It was me.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
care.
blaming
If you
you.
think that, leave
I am
Ryan.
not blaming you.
You break up with me.
You see? She's not hearing nothing. Oh, so it's me. Oh, I'm the issue. Oh, who was it? When they just break up, man? Like, the world does not revolve around you, Sophie. It does not. It never has. It never will. And especially when you're married, the road can never revolve around you. It will revolve around your relationship with your partner. Point blank. Period. Thank gosh that she does not want kids. And Josh, and what's his name again? And Rob, be damned if you ever decide to have a child with Sophie, because their relationship is not stable enough for them to be parents together. Point blank. Period.
What the did I do? Just leave it. Go. I'm not. Bye. I called you back. I was upset.
You either want me to leave?
And you still think I want to leave me over what? I don't understand why you're giving up on me when I should be giving up on you. Rudy, you're not gonna listen to me. Goodbye. If you think it's me all the time, then bye. You'll see if you're actually trying to leave me, you're gonna see when you're depressed forever and every bitch you ever tried to date.
Oh my gosh, each time I listen to her drop these lines, I sit there and I say to myself, if I was in that position, I would have just stood up and left instantly. I don't need to be there anymore. I mean, listen, despite the fact that everything that she says is I, that statement there was the pinnacle of the pinnacle of her being a complete narcissist in this situation here. For someone to sit there and say to you, hey, you're gonna realize that you're mad. Literally capital letters, explanation marks, about 10 of them, moving mad. Literally, that's exactly what's going on right here, right now. And to be honest with you, like, yo, Rob's face, originally for me, I'm thinking he's looking like he's understood the situation. He needs to bounce, but he doesn't. And this is the problem with these two. They have an issue with letting go. It is the thing, Rob, you decided to break up with her, so therefore you shouldn't even be entertaining the conversation with her anymore. I said this to the last person that I was dealing with, right? I literally said to her, listen, boom. If I get to a point where I end things, understand that when I end things, I am not going to care about what conversation you want to have. Point blank, people, because I know that conversation is going to be based on you trying to tell me where I'm wrong and trying to convince me that we should try and make it work. Now, don't get me wrong, this is something that I would do anyone. This is based on the character of the person that I was dealing with at that moment in time, as I understood what that person was like. Do you see what I'm saying? And then when it came to it, and I was like, listen, this isn't working. What happened? She tried to do the thing that I said I knew, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, nope, completely ignored. I'm done, I'm out, busted. And my point being is that this is one of those situations where in reality, if Rob truly wants to let go Sophie, he should have just said, listen, we're over. The moment that she went back in the house and Frank came out, he should have been long gone before the friend even come out. And even when she came crying back or whatever, no. Be done. If you want to be over, you want to be over, because there were some people in this world that just struggle with the idea of someone leaving them. So they will cling on to you and try and pull you back in as many times as possible. No. And then there's people in the world that will understand because they have a respect for you. This woman doesn't have respect for your relationship, let alone yourself. So the moment that you said it's over, you should have been off seas. The fact that you're still here is why you're still here. It's embarrassing. But anyway, I want to say we live and we learn, but I don't think that's something that's possible for these two.
It's way worse than me. They come back to me and I'm not gonna be there.
Idiot.
And he just hates me. I don't understand why
He hates himself because he sees what he's done.
He hates me. Listen, nonetheless though, I've said everything that I needed to say. Let me know your thoughts and we can have something to talk about it. And don't forget the question I asked you mid-video. Go back and rewatch it again, you know what I'm saying? But hey, definitely looking forward to the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.